Hello, good evening, Shifa.
Good evening, sir.
Shifa, you are there, no? Yeah. So Shifa will wait for 2-3 more minutes so that other student could also join, and then we will start. If nobody joins, then we will continue.
So I had a doubt in the homework question. I don't know how to do it.
Okay, homework question. Just let me open the question. Which
Uh,
question I gave you for homework?
41. 41.
Question number 41. All right. So kindly wait for 2 minutes. I'll explain this question to you.
Okay, sir.
Just waiting for others to join. All right. Good evening, Prerna.
Good evening, sir.
All right, both of you. So Shifa had a doubt in the homework question. So we will first of all discuss that question, and then we will start a new topic. We were about to start the question based on the past adjustment, but as she have a doubt in the homework question, though, so I think we should first of all discuss that question, and then we'll move to the adjustment. I think I have given you this question. Yeah. Okay. See, first of all, let me read this question for you. In this question, it says that, Prerna, you were able to solve this question or not?
Yes, sir.
You were able to solve the question. Okay. Anyways, let me explain, Shifa. So Shifa says that there are three partners, A, B, and C, right? And their profit sharing ratio is given. Now, the A point in the question says C's share of profit was guaranteed to be not less than 15,000. That means C is being guaranteed for rupees 15,000 per annum as a profit. All right, C is guaranteed for a profit of 15,000 per annum. Now the point B says that B gives a guarantee to the effect, B gives guarantee to the effect that gross fee earned by him for the firm shall be equal to the average gross fee of the preceding 5 years when he was carrying on profession alone, which on an average work out at 25,000. So Basically, the second statement says that B is giving the guarantee to the firm that he will at least generate a profit of 25,000 for firm. He's saying that once he joins the firm, he will be contributing, or he will be leading to the gross revenue of 25,000, right? But at the end, he is able to contribute only 60,000, right? So basically, C is being guaranteed and B is giving guarantee. So there are two person, one is giving the guarantee to the firm and one is given the guarantee by the firm. All right. So let's just discuss first of all the second point. Point B. In point B, it says that we have guaranteed for 25,000 of revenue. He said that once he will join the firm, he will be generating a revenue of 25,000 for firm. But he is only able to generate 16,000. That means the guaranteed, the amount of guarantee that is given by him was for rupees 25,000, but he was able to contribute only 16,000. That means there is a deficiency in the revenue, right? There is a deficiency in revenue by 9,000. So that means we will have to give 9,000 to the firm. Let me show you how we will solve this kind of question. Just a moment. Just a moment. Profit and loss appropriation. Okay, so in the first transaction, sorry, the profit for the firm given in the question is 75,000. Firm made a profit of 75,000 by profit 75,000, right? And now let's talk about the guarantee given by the partners. Let's first of all talk about the B. Partner B. Partner B is giving guarantee to the firm. Giving guarantee to firm. What guarantee he gave to the firm? The guarantee that he gave to the firm, he says B gives a guarantee to the effect that gross fee earned by him for the firm. He basically says that once he will become the partner in the firm, he will be able to generate a gross fee of 25,000, right? But instead he was able to generate only 16,000. So there is a deficiency in the revenue generated by him, right? Gross fee promised or gross fee guaranteed by B was how much? 25,000. Instead, the gross fee generated actually generated how much? 16,000 only. So that means there is a deficiency in the revenue, in the gross fee. So deficiency in gross fee.
So, sir, is the firm compensating for the deficiency for A and B or C?
See, just a minute. B will have to compensate to the firm, na? B will have to give it to the firm. I'm talking about the adjustment B. I'm not discussing A.
Okay.
It says B have guaranteed for 25,000 of the gross fee that he will be generating for the firm, but instead he was only able to generate a gross fee of 16,000. So there is a deficiency in the gross fee generated by him. deficiency in gross fee is how much? 9,000. So since he was not able to generate sufficient gross revenue for the gross fee for the firm, therefore he will have to contribute it to the firm. He will have to give it to the firm. So the journal entry for this will be, what do? We will simply debit the P&L appropriation. Sorry. We will simply debit the B's capital account. B's personal capital account will be debited. Pay attention, try to understand. B's personal capital account will be debited to profit and loss appropriation account. Profit and loss appropriation account. 9,000. So instead of giving him anything, we will in fact charge 9,000 from B. All right, and the same amount will be transferred to the P&L account, profit and loss appropriation account. On the credit side, we will write down by B's capital account, because he was not able to generate sufficient amount of revenue for the firm, and therefore the deficiency has to be deducted from the B's personal capital account, 9,000. All right, now let's now discuss what else question says. Question also talks about C was also given guarantee for rupees 15,000. Other than this, I don't think we have any other transaction. All right. Okay. Now let's just distribute all the profit. The total profit on the credit side is 75,000 plus 9,000. Total of it will be 84,000, right? This entire profit will be distributed to the partners to profit transfer to. Profit transfer to A, B, and C. So 84,000 into the profit will be distributed among the partners in the profit sharing ratio. What was their profit sharing ratio? Their profit sharing ratio was 3:2:1. So keep that in mind. Profit ratio was 3:2:1. Now we will distribute 84,000 in this ratio only. 3 divided by 6. It will be 42,000 for A. Okay, and C, it will be 84,000 2 by 6 for B. So 84,000 to 2 by 6. This will be 28,000. And C, $84,000 into 1 by 6. So this will be 84,000 divided by 6 will be 14,000. Now see, the problem is C was guaranteed for a profit of 15,000, right? C was guaranteed for a profit of 15,000. Instead, he is getting only 14,000. So that means there is a deficiency in the profit of C as well, right? Is that clear? There is a profit in the deficiency of C as well. Yeah. So now how are we going to adjust that deficiency? We will charge the deficiencies of what amount? 1,000. So 1,000 need to be deducted from A account and B account, both from A and B account collectively, because the guarantee to C was given by the firm. That means by both the partners A and B. So now we will distribute this in their profit sharing ratio. Their profit sharing ratio was 3:2:1. And since A have the deficiency, so the loss have to be distributed between A and B in the ratio of 3:2. So 3 by 5 and 2 by 5. That means we will subtract 600 from A's account, and we will write it as transferred to C, right? And we will subtract from B's account as well, transferred to C. How much? 400. And we will add this transferred from A and B. How much? 1000. So 1000 will be added to C. This will become 15,000, and 400 will be subtracted from B's capital account. So it will be 27,600, and 42,000 minus 600 will be 41,400. Now totaling it, you will get 84,000 on both the sides. This is how we will solve it. Tell me if it is clear or not.
So what about B's?
What about B's?
What about B's guarantee of gross profit?
What about B's guarantee of that we have
Gross
already
fee.
debited, that we
So-
have already credited to the P&L appropriation, na? So you are
So on the
saying that
journal entry,
do we need to
we don't have.
okay, so you are basically saying that do we need to show it by subtracting it from the B's profit or not?
Yeah.
No, that is that will be enough. We just need to record it on the credit side of the P&L appropriation that indicate that the capital account of the B is subtracted by 9,000. And why we are subtracting it? Because he is not able to contribute sufficient amount of gross fee for the firm. Got it?
So can you show the journal entry?
Yeah, just a minute.
Oh yes, I'm back.
Done, okay. All right, now let's move to the next topic. We needed to discuss the question based on past adjustment. All right, so you can put this as heading on your notebook, questions based on past adjustment. And first of all, in order to solve the question based on past adjustment, we need to make a statement of past adjustment. And the format of a statement of past adjustment, mostly it looks like this. I want you to prepare this format. Just draw this format on your notebook, statement of past adjustment. In most of the question, we prepare this kind of statement to solve the question based on the past adjustment. It has 3 columns, one for the particulars and the column for the partners, depending upon the number of partners. If there are 2 partners, so X and Y. If there are more than 2 partners, then accordingly we will make that number of column. Amount should have been credited. The first item is amount should have been credited, and then amount that already credited. Amount that should have been credited is always written in the positive value, and amount that should have been credited need to be subtracted. And then in the final column, final row, we find out the total, the ultimate, the net value by subtracting the second value from the first value. Just a minute, give me a moment. I'm just coming back. Wait for it. Meanwhile, you can note this down. All right, done, both of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so let's discuss first question based on the past adjustment. We'll start with question number 43. It says Ria, Mona, and Nisha shared profit in the ratio of 3 to 2 to 1. The profit for the last 3 years were rupees 1,40,000, 84,000, and 1,06,000 respectively. Okay. These profit were by mistake shared equally for all the given necessary journal entry for the same. Okay. I think there's a mistake in the question. Anyways, the question is pretty much clear. It says that there are 3 partners and their profit sharing ratio is given as 3 to 2 to 1. And the profit for the last 3 years is given 1,40,000, 1,84,000, sorry, 1,40,000 and 84,000 and 1,06,000 respectively. These profit were by mistake shared equally among the partners. However, their profit sharing ratio is 3 to 2 to 1. So instead of distributing these profit in the given ratio, we by mistake have transferred this profit among the partners in the equal ratio, right? Everybody got the equal profit. Now we need to correct this problem. We need to rectify this issue, right? And based on, after rectifying it, we need to pass the journal entry. So how do we correct it? We will have to first of all make a statement for the past adjustment. Just a minute. We'll write down statement showing past adjustment. I want you to note this down along with me. Statement showing and how many partners were there? There were 3 partners, Ria, Mona, and Nisha. Okay. So the first thing that we need to write here is amount that should have been credited, right? Amount that should have been credited. Amount that should be credited. So the amount that should have been credited, let's just first of all total the profit of the last 3 years. So total profit of the last 3 years were 1,40,000, 184, and 1,06,000. When we will total it, we will get, just a minute, let me add this, 1,40,000 plus 84,000 plus 1,06,000. So the total is 3,30,000. Total profit is 3,30,000. See, let me just this column is not compulsory. I'm just doing it for to make it more simple, more understandable. Total profit was 3 lakh. How much? 3,30,000 of the last. I've just totaled all the profit of the last 3 years. This profit should have been distributed in the profit sharing ratio. That should be in the ratio of 3 to 2 to 1. Right? That was the profit sharing ratio, 3 to 2 to 1. So if this profit would have distributed among the partners in the profit sharing ratio, so everybody have got how much? Everybody have got like the Ria have got 1,65,000. Mona would have got 1,10,000. And Nisha would have got 55,000. Right. But the thing is that we by mistake distributed the entire amount of profit in the equal ratio. Amount actually credited. Amount that actually got credited to the partner's account was how much? Same account was distributed among the partners, 3,30,000, but not in the profit sharing ratio. Instead, it was transferred in the equal ratio, 1:1:1. So when 3,30,000 will be distributed among the partners in the equal ratio, then everybody will be getting 1,10,000. Everybody got 1,10,000, 1,10,000, and 1,10,000. Right now, finally, you'll find out the difference. Let's find out the difference. For determining the difference, what we need to do, we will be subtracting the second from the first, right? That is what we will do now. Second from the first. So when you will subtract 1,10,000 out of 1,65,000, how much you will get? Tell me quickly. How much you will be getting? 35,000, right? 55,000. 55,000.
Yes, sir.
Now pay attention, try to understand. Ria should have got 1,65,000, but she was only paid 1,10,000. So just tell me whether Ria was overpaid or underpaid. Overpaid or underpaid? Sufficient amount of profit was transferred or insufficient was
Underpaid.
insufficient? Correct, underpaid. So since Ria was earlier underpaid, that means we will have to pay Ria 55,000 more, because earlier we just paid her 1,10,000. So we need to pay her 55,000 more. So we need to credit her account. Anyways, 1,65,000, 1,10,000, subtracting 1,10,000, we will get a positive value. And whenever you get the positive value, this indicate we need to credit such partner's account. That means we underpaid that partner. Accordingly, in case of Mona, 1,10,000 needed to be paid. We actually transferred 1,10,000. So there was no claim for the Mona. Let's talk about Nisha. Nisha should have been paid 55,000, but we actually paid her 1,10,000. That means we overpaid Nisha. How much? We overpaid Nisha 55,000. We will get a negative value here. 55,000 minus 1,10,000. That will be minus 55,000. Right? And because she was overpaid, we need to now debit her account. If you are finding it difficult to understand when we will debit or when we will credit, you just keep that in mind. Whenever you are getting the positive value, you need to credit her account, such partner account, and whenever you are getting the negative value in respect of any partner, you need to debit his or her account. Got it? So the journal entry, we will be passing a journal entry to rectify, to resolve the issue that we made earlier. By passing a simple journal entry, we can resolve this issue. The journal entry will be what journal entry we'll have to do? We'll have to do Nisha's capital account will be debited. Nisha's capital account will be debited by what amount? 55,000. And at the same time, whose account will be credited? Ria's capital account will be credited to Ria's capital account. Got it? Is this clear? Both of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Being adjustment of profit made. This is it. Then you want to, anybody still writing it?
Done, sir.
Then Shifa, tell me.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. So let's move to the next question. Question number 44. P and Q are partners in a firm, sharing the profit and loss in the ratio, okay, equally. Their fixed capital were 2 lakh and 3 lakh respectively. The partnership will be provided for interest on capital at 12% per annum for the year ended 31st of March 2016. The profit for the firm were distributed without providing interest on capital. Pass the necessary adjustment entry to rectify the error. Guys, I want you to try this question first, and then I'll show you the correct answer of this question. Okay. And this question also we need to do the past adjustment. So again, you will have to make a similar format. What is happening in this question? That the interest partners were entitled for an interest at the rate 12% per annum, but instead we forgot to pay the interest on capital to the partners and distributed the entire profit without considering the interest on capital. Right? So I want you to try this question first. Then I'll show you the solution. Shifa and Prerna. Is it clear? Prerna and Shifa, am I audible? Am I clear to both of you?
Yes, sir.
Prerna, is it okay for you? Do you want to try this or
Yes,
shall I do this question for you? Okay, just give it a try. All right, see, in question number 44, since the question is saying that both the partners were allowed a 12% interest on capital, so basically this much of interest on capital, both the partners are entitled for 12% interest on capital. That means P is entitled for 25,000, 24,000 as interest on capital, and Q is entitled for 36,000 as interest on capital. Now, the thing is that the total interest payable by the firm to the partners is 60,000, but the same has not been transferred to the partners. Got it? This amount hasn't been transferred to the partner. That simply means that instead of transferring it to the partner's capital account, what we have done, instead of transferring it to the partner's capital account, what we must have done with this much of profit, sorry, interest on capital, it should have been transferred to the capital account of the partners. But the thing is that we have actually treated it as a profit, and we must have distributed it among the partners by considering it as a profit only, right? We must have earlier treated it as a profit, and we must have shared this among the partners and their profit sharing ratio. Yes or no? They are equal partners, na? So we must have distributed it among the partners equally. Instead of giving it to them as a interest on capital, we must have distributed. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose the profit was 50,000. Let's assume profit, sorry, let's suppose profit is 80,000. Profit was 80,000, assuming profit was 80,000. So if profit was 80,000, out of this profit, we should have actually paid interest on capital to the partner, and this profit will be reduced by 60,000. This much will be transferred to the partner's capital account, and remaining 30,000, sorry, remaining 20,000 will be distributed among the partners in the profit sharing ratio 1:1. But what happened? We forgot to transfer this to the partner's capital account. We did not transfer anything to the partner's capital account, so we treated interest on capital as zero, nil, and the entire amount is treated as the profit. So entire 80,000 is distributed among the partner. However, the only 20,000 should have been credited, should have been distributed among the partners, but by mistake we distributed entire 80,000. I'm just giving you an example. And similarly, in this question, what is happening? Interest on capital was 60,000. Instead of treating it as an interest on capital and transferring it to the partner's capital account, we must have treated this as a profit, and we must have distributed this profit among the partners in the equal ratio, right? That is what we have done now. Yes or no? Yes. Now to correct this problem, what we will do, we will first of all write down amount that should be credited, by way of interest, at the rate 12% per annum. You don't have to write this down. I'm just trying to explain it. I'll give you some extra time to note this down. Just make sure you understand. P and Q. Amount should have been distributed among the partners as an interest on capital, 24,000 to P and 36,000 to Q. But by mistake, amount actually transferred, actually credited by way of profit, and what ratio? In the equal ratio, by profit, 1:1. How much partners have got? 30,000 each. Partners must have got 30,000 each, right? Now when you will find out the difference, you will understand that P should have actually got 24,000 only, but instead he got 30,000. That means he was overpaid, and therefore in case of P, we will get a negative balance. And for Q, for Q should have been paid 36,000, but instead he only got 30,000. That means he was underpaid by 6,000. So that means Q's account is in positive. We need to credit his account, and P's account is negative. That means we need to debit his account. So the general entry will be Q's account debit. Sorry, P's account debit to Q account. Got it? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you want to write this down, you can write it. And also after this, pass the general entry. Prerna, Shifa, any doubts, please let me know.
No, sir, no doubt.
Just let me know whenever you are done.
Done, sir.
Done with the general entry as well.
Yes, sir.
Shifa, what about you?
Yes, sir. Done.
All right then. So next. Okay, I want you to try this question. Azad and Bani are equal partners. Their capital are 40 and 80,000 respectively. After the accounts for the year had been prepared, it was noticed that interest at 5% per annum as provided in the partnership deed was not credited to them, credited to their capital account before distribution of the profit. It is decided to pass an adjustment entry in the beginning of the next year, record the necessary general entry. This one is similar to the previous question that we just solved. I'm sure you'll be able to solve it. Do it quickly. Let me know whatever the answer you got.
Sir, is the answer Azad's capital account debit to Benny's capital account debit 1000?
Yes, I think that's right.
Yes, sir. I got the same.
You got the same as well. Okay. All right. So this is the correct answer, guys. Let me show you.
So what's
This
the
is the
narration for the journal entry?
This will be the narration being passed at decimal lead. Okay. All right. I want you to try this question as well. Question number 46. This one is a little different from the previous questions. So let me explain this to you because this one is a little different from the previous questions. So let me just explain it and then you can prepare the statement. See what it says in the question says that interest on capital allowed to partners Ram, Mohan and Sohan at the rate 5% only. Interest on capital. Interest on capital is how much? Actually, it is 5%, but we have credited at the rate 6% per annum. All right, but this is the mistake that we have committed. This is wrong. Incorrect interest on capital. The correct interest on capital is actually correct interest on capital is at the rate 5%. So instead of crediting this, we have credited this. So we have made a mistake in respect of 1% of the interest on capital only, na? Right? So let me show you. Interest on capital is calculated at 6% per annum on the capital of the partners. Mohan capital was 1,20,000. Then Ram's capital was 1,20,000. Mohan capital was 90,000. And Sohan had 60,000. So when you will calculate 6% on these values, Ram, Mohan, and Sohan, it will be 1 lakh 60% on 1,20,000. This will be 7,200. Right, and for Mohan it will be 5,400, and then 3,600. Totaling it, we will get. Let me just total it. The total of it will be 7,200 plus 5,400 plus 3,600. The total of this will be 16,200. We have transferred this the entire amount as interest on capital, but instead the correct interest would have been 5% only. When you will calculate 5%, it will be 5% of 1,20,000 will be 6,000, right? 6,000 and 4,500 and just a minute, 2,500. not 2500.
So
This
it
will
will be
be
3,000, right?
yeah, 3000, right? Sorry. So totaling it, we will get actually 3000 plus 4500 plus 6000. So we should actually transfer, we should have actually credited 13,500 to the partner's capital account, but instead we transferred 16,200. So that means we have transferred how much extra? How much extra we transferred to the partners? So let me just calculate it. 16,200, 16,200 minus 13,500. That means we transferred 2,700 extra to the partners. We have transferred 2,700 extra to the partners as an interest on capital. Now the question arises, if it wasn't distributed among the partners as an interest on capital, this could have been distributed among the partners by way of profit, right? This should have been distributed among the partners as a profit, but we have transferred this amount among the partners as interest on capital, right? But if it would have been transferred among the partners by way of profit, this would have been shared among the partners equally, 1:1. But the same has been distributed among the partners as an interest on capital. So we have made a mistake in respect of only 2,700 rupees. We have made a mistake in respect of 2,700 rupees only. So let me just show you how to do the correction in it. First of all, since there is a mistake regarding 2,700 only, that should have been actually credited among the partners as a profit that was distributed among the partners as an interest on capital. So this will be the solution. See, firstly, we will make this format a statement of past adjustment, and first of all, we'll write down amount should have been credited. So amount that should have been credited by way of profit, 2,700. This should have been transferred to the partners among the partners as a profit. That means if it would have been distributed among the partners as a profit, everybody have got the equal share. 900 would have been transferred to all the partners, right? But the same amount has been transferred among the partners as an interest on capital. So how much everybody have got? Let's just find out the difference. 6% was credited now instead of 5%. So we have made a mistake regarding 1%. Let's just calculate 1% of 1% interest on capital. 1% interest on capital. So 1% of 1,20,000 will be 1,200. 1% of 90,000 will be 900, and 1% of 60,000 will be 600. Now when you will total it, you will get 2,700. 1,200 plus 900 and 600. This will be 2,700. Right? So this 2,700 was distributed among the partners as interest on capital. However, this should have been distributed among the partners by way of profit. Now you can find out the discrepancy. The amount that should have been credited to Ram account is 900, but we by mistake credited Ram's account by 1,200. That means Ram was overpaid by 300. So Ram will be getting a negative balance, negative value. Then in case of Mohan should have got 900 as interest on as profit, and he got 900 only by the interest on capital. So there is no discrepancy, there is no difference in the value arising. And in case of Sohan should have got 900, he actually got 600. That means there is a Sohan was underpaid by 300. So that means we will credit Sohan account, we will debit Ram's account. The general entry will be Sohan account, Ram account debit to Sohan account. Tell me if it is clear or not, both of you. You want me to explain any part again? Tell me, Prerna, Shifa.
So what happened to the 6% and 5% interest? Like, why we not doing it in that way?
Because the mistake is regarding only 1%. Na? There is a mistake of only 1%. So basically you want to do it like this, that 6% was actually credited. So you want to write 6% here and 5% here. That will give you the wrong answer. we have a mistake. You have to determine in basically what is the mistake here. What did we do wrong earlier, and we need to correct
So
that
the
only.
difference,
So that amount should have been credited 5%, that is right, but instead we credited 6%. That there is a mistake regarding 1% of interest on capital. The 1% that is distributed among the partners as interest on capital, that same amount should have been distributed among the partners as interest on as the profit. You're clear about this? Do I need to explain it more?
yes, I'm clear.
You're clear. We can understand it this way also. Just a moment. Let me explain this. We can write it like this: amount actually credited. How much extra we have credited? 1% extra, right? 1% interest on capital. Interest on capital was credited among the partners. So let's just calculate 1% of an interest on capital. So 1200 interest on capital, and for B it will be 900 and 600. And let's just total it 2700, right? This amount has been distributed among the partners as interest on capital, but the same should have been, if we didn't committed this mistake, the same would have been distributed among the partners as the profit. Now we need to correct this mistake, so we'll write amount should be credited. Amount that should be credited, 27,000 should be credited. By what? In what proportion? In the equal ratio, 1:1. So everybody will now get 900 and 900. Now you can find out the discrepancy. Got it? Is it clear now?
Yes.
All right. And then accordingly, you can pass the general entry for this question as well. Okay. All right. So apart from this question, we have a similar question. Question number 47. I'm giving this question as homework to you. Just give it a try. Question number 47. Take the screenshot of this question, please, quickly. Take the screenshot. Let me know.
Done, sir.
Done, Shifa?
Yes, sir.
Also, all right, just take the screenshot of this one also. Just try to solve it. If you are not able to solve it, I'll be helping you with this question. This one is a little different and comparatively difficult with the previous question as compared to the previous question, but I still want you to try this question at least. Question number 41. Take the screenshot of this one, please. Done?
Done, sir.
Okay, so this was about past adjustment. We will discuss few more questions based on the past adjustment in the next class. I guess one or two questions, one question more. And then we will talk about the goodwill.